Well, good afternoon, everybody. Today we have a guest with us who is the leader of our Kenton County School District, Dr. Henry Webb. Doctor, we've got you oversee I believe, the fifth largest district in the Commonwealth with 14,000 or over 14,000 students that you're responsible for on a daily basis. So I cannot imagine the job it is to lead that, much less in these times we've just gone through. So thanks for your great service these past 3 years, and really just want to update the county on the kind of impact. What are you seeing with the kids now that you are on summer break, but what kind of things have you had to deal with this pandemic?
Thank you, Judge. First, let me say thank you to you and your team for the wonderful work going on in the county. I will tell you that we have a great team here in Team Kenton. We all know what we've been dealing with as far as COVID-19 goes. And I will tell you that I'm honored to serve with our kids, with our amazing team, as we transform the educational system here in Kenton County for our 14,000 plus students in what virtually seemed like overnight, from in-person instruction to where everybody's staying home working through a virtual NTI program, and just a lot of hurdles we had to overcome. But I can't say enough about our parents and our kids for the patience and resiliency as we ended up closing the spring semester in the best way possible, given the circumstances we were all under. But we had to endure and make a lot of changes and adjustments, but we were able to get through it because we have an amazing team.
Well, and the patience, you speak to that. I mean, patience, I guess, among everybody involved. And I've just heard that over and over again about people just giving each other an opportunity to adjust and do the best thing for their neighbor and their kids. And again, I've heard great things about the teachers and your team, and you guys don't ever get enough congratulations and appreciation for that. I don't care if it's pandemic or not. But are there specific issues you transferred more to? Was it with Zoom? Did you connect with the students, or did you record programs and then hand them out by paper? What did that look like and with my kids now being grown, I didn't have to deal with this. So walk us through how you've actually adapted in that area.
Well, with a large school district like we have, we obviously had a wide range of access to technology at home, for our staff. So we had the instruction occurred in a lot of different methods and ways. We had to care for kids who did not have access to all that technology at home, as well as the kids who had a lot of technology at home. So we had classes going on virtually. We had classes going on where we had to copy hard packets and get the kids. We had teachers. The one thing we did try to maintain constant about was our staff connecting with our kids on a weekly basis via technology or telephone. Because, the one thing we don't talk a lot about in education during all of this, and frankly in our communities, is the social emotional support needed for everyone who are dealing with, anxiety and depression. And so our adults were making contact with our kids regularly, but instructionally, we just had to come at it from a variety of different ways to meet the needs of all of our kids and all of our staff. So it was a pretty monumental task, but once again, as you alluded to again, the patience from our kids and our families and the resiliency of our kids and our staff, I just can't say enough how we were able to just turn this ship overnight and at least have some quality instruction for our kids finishing the 2020 school year.
And you had to have had a large percentage of the parents who are responsible kind of for facilitating the programs. Well, they may be home, but they may have other kids at home and have to fight for use of the computer or fight for the parents' time. Well, oh, by the way, they're trying to still get their work done.
Yeah, so, we've learned so much during this process. And one of the things we learned is what you just alluded to. Even families that have access to technology at home, sometimes, if I have one computer or two computers, but I have 3 or 4 kids and I'm also working from home, this was very, very difficult and is very, very difficult for everyone. And that's why going forward, we're going to continue to adjust and continue to revise and revamp our plans to ensure we continue to meet the needs of our community. We want to say a special thank you to everyone who's reached out to us to give us feedback. We've had parents and kids give us feedback on how we're doing. And that's been very helpful. But yeah, there was a lot of things like you're talking about we had to overcome. And once again, our parents working from home, our guardians working from home while also helping instruction with kids, just amazing families here in Kenton County.
If you just think through it, the steps you guys have had to work through, I can't imagine you've now written a book, I'm sure, on this thing, but unbelievable. So the fall, everyone's wondering: are the kids going to go back to school? Are they going to be, able to learn 6 feet away from one another? Are you going to have to redo classrooms? Maybe walk through some of your worries and your issues there. You don't have, this time between now and fall is going to go like that, right? So.
Yeah, time flies, as you know. So now that we successfully closed instruction for 2020, we currently have our summer feeding and summer instruction going on virtually. Of course, summer feeding in our locations, but we're now shifting our mindset to the fall. And just this week, we've started our refocus group where we're actually going to have a community committee to involve stakeholders and let them see what we're doing, give us feedback, thoughts. It is our goal here in Kenton County to be in school physically in person in the fall. Who knows what may happen the next few months. But as I said here today, that's our goal. We will be putting together multiple scenarios in which that will occur using CDC and local health official guidelines. But we firmly expect, as we sit here today, for kids to be in school in the fall. Understanding we will have some kids and some employees that will not be able to be with us. We will have a virtual component to make sure we continue to address the needs of all kids. So we're excited about hopefully getting back to school in the fall, and we'll be sharing much more information on that over the next few weeks and months to make sure everybody's up to date on what's going on in our school system.
Do you think, Dr. Webb, that might vary based upon the age group or even by facility? And you're saying there's many options you're looking at, but is that an area you're thinking about as well, maybe for the upper grades, that they may be able to handle a little bit more close proximity to education or with each other, I should say, while they're being educated? Or is that one of the things you're looking at?
Yes, I will tell you, everything right now is on the table. Our hope is to get as many kids as we can in-person instruction on a regular basis, while also having some kind of virtual or hybrid component to be able to meet the needs of kids who can't, whether it's from a physical condition or somebody in their home that may have a physical condition or a pre-existing condition. So, we're just going to have all those different scenarios to try to make sure we meet the needs of all of our kids and all of our families.
So maybe if there's a story or two that you have out there about maybe a connection you've been able to make that otherwise wouldn't have been able to make, or maybe a challenge that you'd like the community to know that, hey, you've had to go through or your team has had to go through in this issue. Anything like that bubbles up in your mind that you'd like to share?
Well, we have several individual stories where parents have connected with us and told us how much of a difference counseling during this opportunity has made in their kids' lives, or the online instruction that continued to be delivered. And can't say enough about our wonderful team. I mean, I get chill bumps as we're sitting here talking about the amazing work that they've done and the amazing work they're going to do. But if I could say anything, the one thing that really stands out to me that is kind of a shining example of what this district is capable of is we continued under very, very strict conditions to feed about 20,000 kids and families weekly in our school district with everything closed. So the resiliency and the willingness of everybody to come together to meet the needs of our community, that's just an example of what the school system is capable of with all of our partners, church donating food items. I mean, it's just amazing the community we have here in Kenton County to teach and learn and work together.
That's great. Yeah, and everybody along the entire line seems to be connecting in a way that otherwise we kind of take for granted. So let's talk about graduation. It's a hot topic for anybody. I don't care if it's kindergarten graduation or middle school, high school. You've had to deal with all those. Share with us what Kenton County is going to do in those areas and maybe the challenges as well as what you're going to do to make sure all the grandparents are able to smile and celebrate with their grandkids and whatnot.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that question. As you know, graduation is huge for high school kids, but we also have some transition ceremonies for fifth graders to sixth and eighth to ninth. And once again, I want to commend our teams. They're putting together a lot of virtual opportunities. We've had a lot of parades in our schools, and that's been covered by local media. Our schools are doing a lot of amazing things to make those transitions feel great and special for kids, and I can't thank them enough. As far as high school graduation goes, many of these kids have been with us for 13 years. This is very special for them. So our goal coming next week, we will have drive-through graduations for every kid in Kenton County that wants to participate. Kids will drive up, they'll get out, they'll take a picture, they'll get their diploma. We'll call off their name. We trust that's going to be a wonderful ceremony for our kids. But once again, as I sit here talking to you today, we're also at the same time planning an in-person graduation in July. We hope to be able to have an in-person graduation as well, with obviously very strict guidelines, and we're not giving up on that. Our kids deserve that and want that. And I promised our advisory council, our student advisory council, we would try to make that happen if all possible. So we're actually planning a July in-person ceremony. We'll see where we get with that. But hopefully this year's graduates will have 2 ceremonies in order to make up for a lot of lost activities that many of our seniors had to endure during their senior year.
Absolutely. Well, and I commend you for being flexible, but also trying to make sure that safety is paramount, and making sure you're supporting the students as you do every day. So thanks for everything you do, and please pass on our appreciation to your administrative team and the educators, the counselors, and we appreciate what you do every day.
Well, Judge, thank you, and thank you for what you and your team do. I'd be remiss if I didn't say a special thank you to the health department that's been our partner all along the way, and all of our county officials. And just lastly, one special thank you again to all of our parents, our kids, our community members, and especially Team Kenton. That's been simply amazing during this trying time.
Thank you, sir.